Welcome, folks, to the Old Gold Show. With you as always, I'm Andrew Ledman from hammerandrails.com.
I'm Casey Bartley from Boiler Upload Rivals.
And we're coming to you Saturday evening after number 3 Purdue knocks off number 1 Arizona by 8 points in Cambridge Fieldhouse up in Indianapolis. 92-84 your final. Casey, you were in attendance. I just want to get your initial thoughts on the game. I know we can read your story over at Boiler Upload, but I want to hear what you've got to say right now in person to me.
What a good basketball game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the best I've seen.
That first half was as well played a half of basketball that you'll probably ever see at the college level.
Yeah. Both sides.
Yeah. Generally, when you get teams that good together, it's usually Final Four. NCAA tournament. Every now and again, you get a conference game, and they're usually marred by either, big stakes, not the best play, or blah, 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 whatever happens in a basketball game. But that first 20 minutes was just basketball nirvana. There weren't whistles. There weren't egregious plays back and forth. It was just good, solid, talented basketball. 1v1 just going at it, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of energy in the house. Sold out Cambridge Fieldhouse.
Yeah And you could tell, on the broadcast, you could tell the crowd was into it. The crowd was lively. I think I heard at least one point where you could hear Arizona fans chanting when they got a little bit of a lead there in the first half, but after that
there were at least 12.
Yeah, I'm sure the Purdue fans really let themselves be heard, and that was great. Especially at the end, once the game was over, you heard the "Whose house, our house" chant, and that's always great when you can hear it away from Mackey. I know this is just an hour away in Indy, but pretty great. Fantastic game by pretty much everyone on Purdue. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, obviously the two stars of the game, and you say that, but then you still look at Zach Edey, and he had 22 and 9 to go along with 5 assists, the most assists of anyone on the team.
Yeah, I talked to Painter a little bit about that afterwards, just how much that offense has changed and gotten around him. But it's wild, right? Third leading scorer and highest assist total. I don't think, as much as we like to bet on long shots and whatever, I don't think we'd ever guess that box score.
No, not at all.
For those things to add that way. If we want to break into the game, I think Purdue really won around the edges. Obviously, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, great. I thought Trey Kaufman-Renn was great to start the game. I thought his offensive rebounding kept them in it early.
Yeah.
I thought Camden Heide was really locked in to start the second half defensively when he came in. Ethan Morton had a couple big plays. Mason Gillis had a couple nice rebounds. Obviously, the stars shined out, and Fletcher Lawyer had another lawyer game. Just big-time lawyer, baby.
Yeah.
Big time. But it really looked like Purdue was a team that's been tested. I don't think anyone had a doubt that Caleb Love would be up for this game. I don't think even, Keshad Johnson's been in big games. He played in the NCAA tournament last year all the way to the championship game. Those guys you don't worry about in the big time. But, there was this big conversation that Arizona was this really deep team. They played 8 guys tonight.
Yeah.
Privis was an absolute no-show. Jaden Bradley, offensive rating of 51. Didn't really do anything. KJ Lewis gave some good minutes on defense, but they pretty much got it was Pell Larson was pretty good, had some atrocious turnovers. If you're Arizona, you're looking at a couple of his possessions, like what's happening.
Yeah. 5 turnovers for Larson.
5 turnovers, 4 fouls. Just not what you want out of him. And then, but you knew Caleb Love would be there. You knew Umar Bala would be there, and Keshawn Johnson was there. Kylan Boswell was shut out, almost 6 points. He's a really good player, and Purdue did really well against him. But I just think Purdue has been tested in a way that Arizona hasn't, and all the side pieces were ready to play.
Yeah.
And they brought it to Arizona from the start.
Yeah, and we knew Love was going to score his points, and he ultimately did get, 29, which just a great performance from him. But he also took 19 shots to get those 29 points.
That's uber efficient.
He took 19 shots. He was
29 points, Ledman?
9 of 19.
Normal Caleb Love games are 19 points for 29 shots.
Okay, fine. fine.
Like
He's, I
29
mean,
points
look,
for 19 shots is good. He was really good. That's the best I've ever seen him play.
oof. I mean, I don't know if it's the best he's ever played, but maybe best overall game. Sure.
I mean, yeah, he had a
I'll
good
give you
title
that.
game, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was really good. 4 of 9 shooting, way better than he shot for the year.
4 of 9 from
7 of 7 from
three.
the
Yeah.
line. Yeah, from three. I thought he was really good. I thought Shot Johnson was a real thing. Obviously Purdue was like, go ahead and shoot early. He made 2 of
Yeah.
them.
Made 2 of them. Took 2, made 2.
But yeah, I just think just high major college basketball. That was some good stuff. And
Yeah.
I think Purdue was just a little better on the edge. And Fletcher Loya, man, baller.
Yeah, I mean,
Baller.
rebounding I think was huge in this game. Purdue got 6 more rebounds than Arizona, led to second chance points. A perfect example, what you pointed out earlier, Trey Kaufman-Renn got a nice rebound, tapped it back to Edey, sent Edey to the free throw line. So that's just an extra possession that led to points right there, all because of the effort, all because of the rebounding. And Purdue did a very good job against an Arizona team who was a very good rebounding team heading into this game. Um, and just I want to reiterate what you said. I mean, just an incredible game to
Mhm.
watch. I mean, incredibly talented on both sides. And the refs didn't get in the way. It wasn't I wasn't watching this game and thinking, man, I really want to see these guys play, but I'm not. We got to see the game that everybody really was looking forward to. And overall, I mean, really just one of the best college basketball games I think I've ever watched. Number one, number three. Do we think Purdue? I mean, we talked about this in the last one. Do we think Purdue's now going to be number one come Monday in the AP?
I don't know how you don't. Um,
Yeah,
I get believing in UConn. That's a really good team. They haven't lost. They won the title last year, so I'm not going to begrudge that. But when you run through this schedule that Purdue just did, and to be 10-1 on the other side of it, once again, I mean, knocking off the number one team, um, winning all those games in Maui, you have the best player in college. Didn't lose anyone of substance at this point, is what it seems. I personally am there. I was there before this game. I mean, that's kind of why our tone is the way it is when we play these teams, because like we assume Purdue's going to win because I think we both believe. I certainly believe they're the best team in college.
I do too right now. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
if they're going to keep like, are we ready to say this is Braden Smith? Because I am.
I mean, I think so. I
It's
mean, you have to believe in him now. I mean, at this point, you have to believe this is who he is. I mean, I know you didn't get to watch the broadcast because you were there in the arena. But if you listen to the broadcast, I mean, they're talking about what Braden Smith has done over the last 5 games, and I believe it was Robbie Hummel who, full disclosure, obviously a
good
bit of
guy,
a Purdue guy,
great guy.
uh, said, it's hard for him to imagine after these last 5 games for Braden Smith that Braden Smith is not talked about as a possible All-American.
You know who mentioned that in a column not that long ago? This guy.
And was it that
Spoiler
guy?
upload.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
He's white. There's no art. He just went 26 points on 9 of 15 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line, 4 defensive rebounds, only 2 assists, one of his lower performances of the year, and 3 steals. I mean, and he's the do everything for them. And
Yeah.
Fletcher Loyer, by far the best guard today. Those
Which
floaters are disgusting.
I don't think anybody would have called that going into this game.
4 steals.
Yeah.
4. And I think it really speaks to just how many minutes together Edey, Loyer, and Smith have put now. Mason Gillis, Morton, all those guys. Just the synergy they play with. And there is a purpose on the court this year that I don't think I've seen on a Purdue team in a long time.
Yeah. Do you assume part of that is just residuals from last year losing to Fairleigh Dickinson, especially, and then Edey coming back and like something to prove?
I think that helps, but I think that helps more in the offseason. I think if it was going to trigger or not, it was just going to be a matter of maturation, getting to this step. I mean, what they did as true freshmen, once again, that was kind of worn as a badge of, whoa, look out, like that's bad.
Yeah.
But I think what we're learning is that despite March wasn't a red flag. The thing you needed to pay attention to were all the good things they did along the year as true freshmen.
Yeah.
And so I think that is just carrying over in a really big way. Lawyer was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, like you said, those floaters, you can't guard those.
No.
It's impossible. If Purdue gets contributions like that consistently from Smith and Lawyer to go along with Edie, because Edie's always going to get his, whether he misses 4 shots in a row, I think like he did in this game, he's still going to find a way to get to the rim, get his points, get his rebounds. So he's not something I think we have to worry about. But if Purdue gets this Fletcher Lawyer and this Braden Smith, I'm not sure who in the country can beat him.
Yeah, you can. We both talked. I thought Lance Jones was going to have a big game. I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was good, not great.
Hit a timely 3 there.
Yes.
But not great. 1 of 6 from 3. Thought he played pretty good defense. 4 fouls again. Gets handsy, gets a little out of himself. What Purdue's finding is they kind of have just answers all over the place.
Yeah.
Trey, like we said, we were down on the starting 5.
Yeah.
Just
I was amazed
game.
he was in this. I was amazed he was in the starting 5.
And honestly, I thought it was a physical presence they needed early. And Trey looked good to start the second half again. And it's just seamlessly fitting into, they still close the game with Mason Gill. I called a Caleb first game and he wasn't very good.
He had a couple good moments,
but fine.
Overall, yeah, I think Gillis definitely outplayed him today.
Yeah. The second half struggled. Obviously you love a putback dunk. Maybe my favorite thing in basketball.
Yeah. It's electric.
Skied up and got to hang there for a second. That's fun.
Yeah.
Miles Colvin only played 4 minutes. Was fine. Didn't get a shot up. Camden Heidi, I still think
I thought he looked pretty good in his minutes. I mean, he only got, what was it, 7?
7, 8? Yeah. But he came out in the second half right when Arizona's offense was starting to get good. And he stuck to his guy. He was glued onto him through screens, off the top, off ball, everything. So I think the attention to detail and the buy-in from guys that are playing 8 minutes a night, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And I know it's the number 1 team, Arizona, and you get up for that, but it is a good sign.
I think it speaks more to them that they're doing it against the number 1 team because, and I pulled up KenPom as we're talking, Arizona, even after the loss tonight, still listed as the number 5 offense and the number 4 defense. So for Purdue to be able to go in there and have that kind of performance, score 92 points against the top 5 defense, as well as, not stop Arizona. I mean, they scored 84, but the number 5 ranked offense to hold them and beat them. I mean, it says a lot about what Purdue can do. So it was, again, just an incredible game. Do we want to talk about the people who dismissed us?
Yeah.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook for this college basketball season. We're going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks and predictions throughout the college basketball season. And we are going to have special offers for you, the listeners and the viewers on the Field of 68 each and every week during the season. If you haven't signed up with BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD1500 and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager on BetMGM Sportsbook. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD1500. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if that bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code FIELD1500 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
So our last episode,
boys.
We talked about Purdue, Arizona, and we got some comments from Arizona folks. Somebody said we had Caleb Love slander. Best of luck on Saturday, guys. Called us haters. Damn shame, but they will learn real quick on Saturday. Real quick.
Am I have I forgotten? Did I mention that I was a little concerned that Arizona hadn't really been tested? That I
You
thought
did.
maybe some
You
of their
did.
rebounding was fluky.
In
Maybe some of that
fact,
bench production was fluky.
in fact, you called them a paper tiger, which
Oh,
was mentioned
oh,
numerous times in the comments. And of course, we got the classic Purdue insult, boiler down. So I'm sure they
you know,
felt good about
you know what's
this.
great about paper tigers? You don't feel bad when you write a big L on them because they're paper. It's what they're
They're
made
paper.
for.
That's right. It's a lot of good luck, buddy. See you Saturday.
The
Blah
buddy,
blah blah.
just a
Yeah, the
good
buddy
buddy.
is great. It's always a very dismissive
Mhm.
term to call someone buddy. So let's see. We're going to smack you, and then this guy says, "I'll be back." So I'm waiting to see his return comment.
Come
But
at you, boy.
yeah, I haven't seen anything from him since the loss. So this guy says Arizona is out for blood. No one wants to see this player of the year, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna
Arizona's
be
really
good.
good. Like
Yeah, they
Arizona's
are.
really good. That was a really
Absolutely.
good team.
Yeah.
I thought it took a lot for them in the second half not to get run away with
Yeah.
the way
They
that
they had
Purdue
a
was
great
playing.
comeback.
Yeah, they were playing exceptional. They will.
Yeah.
I don't think either of these teams will feel the same way after March the way they did last year.
No, I don't either. I will say one of the wildest comments that I saw from an Arizona fan was someone who clearly had not watched Purdue, and they said, and I'm paraphrasing, it was on the Arizona SB Nation site in the comments. They said something
Mm.
along the lines of, "I really thought our big men would make Edey look like just another guy, just like a role player," and it was like, oh, buddy, buddy, buddy.
Umar Ballo was good. I thought he made Edie's life pretty difficult,
Oh
especially
yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
but a
go
role
one on
player.
one very much. They left it a few times, but they were definitely doubling. But I mean, he's physical, he's big, he was good. He got points, 13.
Yeah.
But just how many people does Edie need to put on like his done list?
I don't know.
Because it's
It's never
all of
going to be
them.
enough.
It's like every
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. It's never going to be enough because somebody's always going to find an excuse about the fouls, the 3-second calls, the this, the that. They're always going to find an excuse for some reason. I mean, the joke, of course, about Edie is he's just tall, but that seems to be the reason a lot of people don't like him is he is tall.
Is
And
he
like,
unlikable?
no, no,
Is it
no,
just when
no.
you play him?
Yeah, it's just when you play him. He's an extremely likable guy, but if he's your opponent, you don't like him
Right.
because he has been blessed, genetically by being 7'4". If I were to go out and practice 3,000 hours, I still can't be as good at basketball as he is because I'm 5'6". There
Other
is
reasons, I'm assuming. As
other
well, but
reasons, of
yes.
course, yes, but the height is one of them. So I think people just take a look at the fact that he's 7'4" and just assume everything's been handed to him and basketball's real easy when you're that tall. But in reality, it's almost harder because of the way you're treated, the way you're handled, and everything else. So it's great to see these high major teams see a player like Zach Edey not know what they're getting into, and then suddenly afterward be like, okay, I'm impressed. It's a real good feeling for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I mean, that Arizona team's a really good rebounding team.
Yeah.
Solid through all levels of their team. And it kind of just shows how much attention he grabs, even when he's not getting the ball.
Yeah.
And he kind of allowed his guys to go get rebounds. The extra possessions, 11-5 offensive rebounds. That's close enough
huge.
to make up most of the difference of this game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know we wanted to keep this one short. Any final thoughts about this Purdue versus Arizona game?
A lot of fun. It's gonna be hard to go watch a normal weird beat
like
up a
early
cupcake
season
game.
cupcake.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird vibes next week.
Yeah, I will say one more thing. This was normally the weekend for the Crossroads Classic. IU decided they were too good for it.
Painter threw some digs again after the game.
Wait, but I want to hear what you say I want to hear what he said. But I just want to point out, because IU thinks they're too good for that event, they played Kansas and lost at home. we played Arizona and won in Indianapolis. So thank you to the IU Hoosiers for allowing us to play this game. Now, tell me, what did Painter say?
I mean, he just kind of like, I believe his framing was it was a no brainer to have an event like that in Indiana with the teams that we have in Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it. And he named Notre Dame and Butler and themselves and said, why wouldn't you want to play in that? Leaving off a certain team for a certain reason.
Yeah.
It is the most mind-boggling thing that doesn't exist now. I don't legit have. You can't act superior to everyone and then not play the games.
Right. Yeah.
You don't get to do both.
It's just a scheduling argument from them that, look, we would normally be playing, Butler this week, but instead we're playing Kansas. It's like, okay,
do both.
Great. Yeah. And you lost. Find another weekend for
Kansas. Do you know who
else?
Do you know Indiana's non-conference slate?
I do not.
Florida Gulf Coast, 260th. Army, 340th. Wright State, 141. Connecticut. Okay, good job. Louisville, 205.
And they're in shambles.
Harvard, Auburn, Kansas, Morehead State, North Alabama, and Kennesaw State.
And Auburn boat raced them too, so
104.76.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's back-to-back losses for IU. We love that. Technically, all three of their losses has been to top 10 teams. But yeah, this should have been it's good for Purdue.
Yeah, it worked out well for Purdue.
A real team.
Real team. So we'll see on Monday. Maybe Purdue is number one again. I really hope so. They certainly earned it with their schedule and taking down Arizona. So for Casey and myself, folks, thanks for joining us.